Well, your friend Kanye, a whole lot has happened since our last interview.
What? What did Ye do? He did something?
Yeah. The song Cousins.
What he do?
In the song Cousins, he admits to giving his male cousin head when he was 14 years old and his cousin was 11.
Oh, he was, I never knew how old, I didn't know who was the oldest.
He was
This
older.
is new. I knew about what he said he did.
He was older. He was 14. His cousin was 11. According to the song, they found some gay magazines, I guess, and they decided to act out what they saw.
Those are magazines he found in his mother's.
I guess.
Got you.
Look, here's the interesting part. Me and Ak were talking about this the other day. I reached out to a whole bunch of people that actually know Kanye about this story, and they all said, yeah, that actually happened.
He said it happened. Why would you question it?
Well, because sometimes people are trolling.
So they don't troll about. See, y'all
man, people troll about everything. No, I don't. Listen, Lil B had an album called I'm Gay.
Who?
Lil B. Remember back in the day? From the Bay? He had an album called I'm Gay. He's not gay. But he was trolling with the gay thing. Young Thug was wearing dresses, okay, and calling people like lover and, you know, all that type of stuff when Young Thug is not gay either. So don't tell me that people don't troll about being gay when they're really straight. It really happens. It happens.
Brother,
it happens.
Here goes the thing with y'all. And y'all got to kill this troll thing. Because when people do it and they get a bad reaction, oh, it's a troll. But if they do it and it's not a bad reaction, they own it.
Well, like I said, this is a real story.
Do you think anybody in your family, cousins, uncles, all that, right? Growing up, experimented?
I'll be honest, not that I know of. If it happened, it happened. I'm not saying I'd be surprised.
That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't be completely shocked because what I'm saying. Kids are kids.
Listen, I'm thinking about it,
You know, I started, making out with girls and feeling them up at like 13 and, lost my virginity around 16. So, yeah, I was underage doing stuff should not have been doing. It is what it is.
What I'm saying is...
But I wasn't doing that.
No, what I'm saying is...
I wasn't doing that.
Just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Right? I can remember in a lot of households, there used to be a problem with how much hot water was going to be available. It's real shit.
Okay.
So they would say, you got a brother that's 10, another one that's 12. You guys get in the shower together. Not even understanding that what you were doing. This is real stuff, right?
Okay.
Y'all get in the shower together, right? Not understanding what you're doing. It. People may have come across some magazines or saw something on television or got curious or whatever reason. Whatever, right? So I say that to say this. It's a lot of people out there that have experimented, tried something, but didn't necessarily stay with it. So now it goes back to what somebody does as an adolescent or a minor. With a minor, do you call them gay? Because the rule of thumb has always been, if you do something with somebody of the same sex, we're gonna call you gay. The only time they gave a little leeway is if an adult molested a minor.
Yeah.
And he had no decision in it, right? But in this situation, unless other things has happened that we don't know about, would you, Vlad, say, because of his admittance to what he did, because he said he performed the act, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you call Ye gay?
Yes.
Are you saying yes because his stance against the Jewish community?
No, not at all. Not at all. And here's my reasoning. I was exposed to porn around the same age, right around 14, 13, first Playboys. And then, my friend Mark brought home a porno, during junior high. We watched it in my living room. My parents were gone and so forth. I could clearly tell you, at no point during that time, no matter how much porn I watched, because I got other tapes and so forth around that time, never want to suck a dick. Just never did. Just never even, crossed my mind. Nope, didn't want to do it. I can tell you that. Now, did I want a girl to give me head? Absolutely. Did I want to go and do that at 14? And at 14, you kind of know you're not just a child, you're just oblivious to the world. No. You know what you're doing at 14.
No, not at all. You definitely know what's going on.
Yeah, 14.
So you would say that?
Yeah, I think he wanted to suck a dick and, you know, and look, and I've heard all types of interesting stories. Now that this is coming out, now I'm hearing other stories of different artists that were signed to Kanye that allegedly, you know, did some stuff with him. I'm not totally sure because the source is, you know, sometimes right, sometimes not. But, I mean, look, you have someone on the caliber of Kanye who's so huge. When you have new artists come around and they have the chance to have their lives changed by someone of his caliber, and you know, all they got to do is a little something behind closed doors, would you be totally shocked if that's really what happened?
So you say you think Diddy's guilty? Uh-oh.
Do I say he's guilty of those things if they could actually prove that? But did Diddy...
Do you think Diddy's guilty of doing these things because artists come around and they being propositioned in the back of their head, if I do this, my life's gonna change? Do you think Diddy participated in those type of things?
Possibly. Possibly. I see where you're going with this. I think it's a good point. I think it's a good point. I think it's a similar point.
And if so, do you think Ye may have been one of Diddy's victims?
I don't think so, because I don't think the two of them really... Have they really worked together a lot? I know they've done some work, but have they... I've never really seen Diddy and Kanye doing a bunch of shit together.
I'm going to say this. If Ye carried on the behavior after the fact, well on to be an adult, then I'm with you. But if the buck stopped there, I wouldn't call him gay.
Well, I will also say this, right?
Although where I come from,
yeah,
we gonna call it gay.
Right.
14, I'm doing time already. I'm locked up.
Yeah.
So you know I'm with you. You know what not to do.
Right.
But some of these children grow up in some of these households to where it's a little different. And they experimenting. I've heard stories from women, they experiment things when they was kids together. I don't know. So you're saying even if the buck stopped there?
I feel if I look at all the gay men I've interviewed over the years, and it's got to be at least a dozen, if not more. I don't remember a single one that did not have some sort of gay experience as a child.
Gotcha.
Whether most times by
it carries on.
By older kids or adults and so forth, there's always been some sort of gay situation that happened while they were really young. And then, you know, they'll say, oh, but I think I've always liked boys. But I really feel like a lot of times when you get introduced to something as your introduction to it,
you continue to do it.
It doesn't seem so bad because this is how you're introduced to it. And there's probably some positive feelings associated with it. You know, if you weren't like molested by, if it's kids a similar age and so forth, it's not as bad as like your grandfather doing or something nasty like that. So I don't know. I don't think it's a coincidence that so many gay men have had some sort of gay experience as a child out of their control or whatever else, and then they end up being gay. I didn't have anything gay happen to me as a kid.
Yeah, me either.
I could say that clearly, and what's funny is I think about this sometimes. I remember when I had a paper route, the guy that was the facilitator that worked with all the kids wanted to take me out and try to find some new subscribers and take me out for Burger King. My parents were like, no, absolutely not. And I'm like, okay. In retrospect, I'm like, damn, was I going to get molested that day? Like, I'm thinking about that. But nothing's ever happened to me. I've always been heterosexual. I've always liked women. I've never been exposed to various things. Even Jeffree Star, has hinted that him and Kanye has done something recently. He's like, the rumors are true, right? When the whole Kanye thing came out.
Yeah, but then again, I'm going to go back to what you're saying. Maybe he's trolling.
Maybe he's trolling. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I have to say, my people my people in this industry, the moguls, are under attack.
This is true.
They are under attack. So I have to give them the benefit of the doubt to say, if he ain't saying that, then I'm going to roll with it.
Well, he even said he's gay in one of his live streams. Like, yo, I'm gay.
Now, he might be trolling, but then again,
I mean,
you know what? If Ye said that, I'm going to believe him.
I mean, look, he also admits...
Did he say,
he admits
if y'all saying this, then screw it then? Did he say it like that?
Kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, but then no, that's just him saying, I told y'all what happened when it happened, and the buck stopped there. But if y'all want to push that, so what? That's what it is now. What? I don't think he just came out and said, I'm Ye coming out the closet, I'm gay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, look, the name of his new album, he says, called Cuck, which is short for cuckold.
Oh.
I have heard the cuck stories before. Is that gay? Watching a guy smash a girl? I don't know.
That's gay to me.
That, you know, I mean, Adam will probably argue.
I don't do sword fights. Ain't no more swords in the room, brother.
Right.
Nah,
yeah.
but
you were the star of the show. There's no co-star. There's no supporting actor.
I be hearing people saying, yeah, man, growing up, me and the homies didn't do none of that.